How's it going there, everyone? It's Mr. Zen. We're going to bring you guys another Qualidea code discussion. And for today's segment, folks, we're going to be talking about Qualidea code episode 10, guys. A newly released episode just came out today, and I am a little bit excited to talk about just a little bit of the episode because of the fact that in this episode, yes, guys, a lot of answers were revealed. In fact, now we're actually getting more of the story focused on the opposite side of the fighting force, guys. As I was literally thinking about when I was watching the previous episode, I was thinking, man, I'm pretty sure the next episode is really going to be just about another exposition story as to what the human side are doing. And basically, this episode, episode 10, did give off that fairly little information that they actually gave. And basically, the humans have been literally fighting. They're still trying to capture all the humans that are still on the opposite side of the unknown. The unknown are clearly really deceptive, as in the episode, it was clearly stated that the unknown are really deceptive that when it comes to actually camouflaging as humans, that's how they actually been killing off humans slowly, bit by bit. But it seems that Japan is actually like the main force that was shown in this episode, guys. Because the fact that, that we weren't seeing with Chiba or Kanagawa, it didn't really show any of the other schools. I'm assuming that school system is set up by the unknowns, or the unknowns set that up because of the humans' resistance side. So maybe there are 3 resistance sides involved with the humans. But nonetheless, though, they really didn't really explain that much. But so far, it's Japan that has rescued, I could say, Ichiya and Kasumi and all the rest of the characters. And basically, this episode, it kind of focused on that exposition story as to what the characters are going to be doing now that they're on the humans, the actual human side, I should say. And the humans, they seem very calm and sincere about it. And I like the fact that the humans they have really strong will in this episode. Not gonna lie to you guys. Yes, they have been losing. Yes, they have been fighting for many years and years and years. But that's because of the fact that, they are trying to do a smaller task that's more difficult than the overall task. And it's not save the earth, but first it's actually saving the kids. That's what the saviors are trying to do. The Japan people are literally just trying to save the kids first, and then they can focus all their manpower on destroying the unknowns. And that's what it was basically focusing on. And they even showed that Kasumi and Ichiya were having a little bit of, like, I would say, a closure, you kind of say. That these two characters finally have come to terms. I would say, actually, Ichiya is actually the one that I would say come to terms. Kasumi is just the one that's just playing along, saying, okay, man, I'm just waiting on you in order to come to terms with me because I know I was right. And basically, Ichiya was wrong. But basically, Ichiya came to terms in this episode because of the fact that he actually learned that what he was doing was basically like all for naught, and basically, he was acting like a really rebellious kid. He was just being a total, I would say, a total idiot, basically. And this episode kind of, I would say, explained that. And these two now have become best friends, you kind of say, in the episode. It's hilarious, how they kind of did a little skit with them. But I like how Kasumi's character was saying that, even though we're changed on different sides and we're fighting, I would say, a battle very differently from what we've been fighting, but the overall outcome is the same, and basically we're fighting to protect someone we love. And basically Kasumi and Ichiya basically have that same kind of goal. They're fighting to protect your love. Kasumi is basically fighting to protect his sister, and Ichiya is fighting to protect Kanaria. And the episode kind of did focus on Kanaria, and her, I would say, the little love interest between Kanaria and Ichiya. It's just that I feel like they want to say it, but it might have been an awkward time for them to actually say that they love each other. Because, I've been back in a couple episodes before. I think Ichiya was actually going to confess his love to her, but, he was, I would say, distracted by Japan actually rescuing Kanaria. So that's hilarious, He literally got caught by his own saviors. And that's funny. But, yeah. Very interesting, guys. Very interesting. The episode itself, guys, like I said, it was very interesting. But, like I said, a lot of the answers were basically answered in this episode itself. We're just wondering as to what's going to happen in the next episode. Oh, I can't forget that, yeah. I forgot the leader of the resistance fighting in Japan is basically Kasumi and Asuha's basically parents. They basically are the leaders. And it kind of explained briefly also with that same time, with that, what happened to the other leaders? Who is actually leading the factions themselves? And then that leader actually explained it herself that, a lot of people have actually taken up the seat, but they either been murdered, they've been paid to be up there. It's just, that's why Kasumi's parents are actually being up there, because of the fact that, there's really no one else that's going to be taking the lead. And that's hilarious in a sense, basically, a lot of people are afraid to take the lead, basically. they're afraid that they're gonna lose their life. You know, like they don't have the, I would say, the willpower and stamina in order to do that, guys. That's the impression that it kind of gave off to me, guys. But like I said, though, you know, the episode was very entertaining. A lot of viewers, I would say, you know, I feel like you guys are gonna be like, oh my god, we already knew this. Yeah, but I know it's just the fact that, you know, they're just finally shedding light onto the subject. Though now we know that it's this. Now we don't have to speculate that this so and so happened. You know, now we know. At least the anime episode kind of gave us that in itself, guys. At least, you know. But I'm still kind of curious as to how are the humans fighting with that technology, you know? Or did the unknown bring that technology to the humans? Or did the humans already have that kind of technology? Are the humans technologically advanced? You know, we're still kind of confused as to, like, where exactly is the human race actually in terms of how far they went in the technological movement. You know, like all these powers, all these warships have like these shields coming up. And, you know, and you're kind of here wondering, like, so the humans have the powers too, not just the kids that were put to sleep. You know, I'm still kind of confused about that kind of subject right there. You know, it's just kind of bringing, you know, keep your mind thinking about the anime. So without like, oh, this happened, now we gotta wait for another episode. Another episode's gonna give us the same information that we already know. No. You know, you gotta keep thinking like, okay, what's going on? Or maybe I'm just thinking it too far ahead. You know, it's like I said, there's a lot of things that could still be going on, and also the fact that who are the villains? Who are the actual unknown villains? You know, they still haven't explained that. Like, who are the actual unknown villains? Sure, you know, they've been mentioned a lot of times, but yet they still haven't showed us the villains. You know, I'm kind of curious as to who really are the unknown villains, and I'm hoping they give a little backstory as to what really happened that day that the kids were put to chronological sleep. You know, I hope they actually give that kind of backstory, or at least some kind of information as to, I would say, why these kids were put to sleep. You know, they really didn't give a lot of answers as to why. They said maybe they might have said that, oh, of course, they were put to sleep to fend off against the unknown, but why? What made them so special? Did they acquire these powers while they were sleeping? Or were these powers already with them? You know, like, it's just like, or this is a part of a human experimentation too. And also the anime intro and ending have also changed, guys. I can't believe that it's actually went pretty good. Actually, I'm actually liking the anime intro and ending. It's actually pretty interesting. Like the anime intro for this part of the episode, it kind of gave off the illusion that, you know, all the students are gonna be fighting against each other now. That's the way it kind of looked like to me. Like, now the terminal is gonna be within the students. Now they're not controlled by, I would say, the unknown. See, when they were on the unknown side, they were all banded together and they had harmony because they were fighting basically a perfect peace, you know, basically a false reality. But now that they're in reality, that they control their own lives and do whatever they please, it seems like the anime intro kind of seemed like kind of stem away that, you know, basically they're all going their own separate routes, and, you know, they're not all trying to be, I would say, in perfect harmony. You kind of see they're basically kind of separating their own kind of way. That's the impression I got off the freaking anime intro. Maybe that's what's gonna happen in the following episodes too, as to what's gonna happen. But, you know, I believe there's only gonna be like 12 episodes throughout this whole entire, I would say, season. We're barely like episode 10. If not, there could be more. I could be mistaken. But nonetheless, though, you know, I can't wait to see how the season's gonna end. As to, are they actually gonna finish the unknown, or are they gonna actually just, I would say, unveil the unknown's enemy by the end of the, I would say, the series. At least I think so. But nonetheless, so guys, you know, let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought about this episode. Was it really informative? What you guys thought it was just like basically an episode that, you know, was mediocre? You know, of course, we already knew what was already going on. But, you know, of course, Qualidea has to at least explain itself, you know, even though we already get the hints. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought about the episode, guys. What you guys think about Kasumi's parents? You know, were they that quirky that you guys enjoyed them, or were they annoying? And also, guys, if you enjoy your wonderful Saturday, guys. It's a wonderful Saturday. Go out, have fun. You know, it's a relaxing Saturday, guys. But as always, guys, don't forget to give a like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is Mr. Zen. Hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Signing out.